Thank you, guys. Woo.
Austin Hall here with Big Cabbage Radio in Palmer, Alaska. You just listened to a snippet of the song Stuck by Childish Tycoon. Welcome, Childish Tycoon. Welcome, Shane.
What's up?
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, Shane Russel here with Childish Tycoon. We also got our buddy David Alston here, the drummer.
How's it going?
Tell us a little bit about your hometowns, like where you grew up. Are you guys from Alaska?
Yeah, born and raised Anchorage, Alaska.
Born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. Went to South Anchorage High School. Met Shane. He went to West Anchorage High School. We had mutual friends and started with basketball, turned into music, and
we both were the drummers of like the friend group. Like we were the only two that would play, but we didn't really play and practice that much. Like we weren't in bands, and we would just be playing basketball or doing stuff. And we're like, we should play drums sometimes. And it finally happened.
It's been it's really cool working with such talented musicians who can do so much, right? Because Shane not only is a drummer, he plays the guitar, and like Sean, who just walked in, also he plays guitar, bass, drums, you name it, piano.
Yeah, we got Sean Perkins, one of our band leaders, directors, bass player, all-around rock star here. What's up, Sean?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome in. We were just kind of saying, like, where we were from and stuff. Me and Dave, being born and raised up here and stuff, but how are we lucky enough to have you in our presence?
Yeah, well, I moved here from Oregon, where I was going to college. That's where I met my wife. She's from here. She was born and raised here, so when she decided to move back, I came up here with her.
That's cool. What do you play?
I play bass with these guys.
Plays bass.
Do a lot of production and recording and mixing and stuff.
Then we got Cody Meadows. Like he's a super fan of our band, and then it was like, dude, Cody, you're a great musician, great singer, great everything. Like, why don't you just get on board with us too?
Yeah, it's perfect. He does a lot of. He still will do sound, helps with sound. He does a lot of the vocal kind of mixing and stuff like that. Also, and like you said, any auxiliary percussion in his voice is really where I think he shines.
Yeah.
He's got an amazing voice. Speaking of Cody.
Oh, he just walked in. Man, we got that power. We were just talking about Sean. Well, and then the newest new members of our group, we got Bridget and Alex Bukovic, and Alex plays keys and Bridget plays saxophone. She's an amazing oboist as well. And they're married, and we got a hold of Bridget because of a random show.
Yeah, Sean and I did a little show for TEDx Alaska at UAA.
I was like, man, Bridget, she's a saxophone player, and she sounds
really good.
Yeah. I was just like, you should just come over and hang out with us. And then after she played with us, I asked everybody, you want her to join? And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
So how many total members are there then? We got 4 in the studio right now.
This is only half the band. 7. We got 7.
7. Yeah. What are some of your goals with it? I mean, where are you hoping to take it? Take over the world? Be famous? Be rich?
We were talking a little bit about this morning. I mean, I wouldn't say there's a distinct goal for me. For me personally, it would be cool just to travel around Alaska a little bit. I don't want to go over the top and like push myself out there, like force it. I want to just kind of come naturally, just get some people that like to listen to our music and enjoy listening to us and want to have us out. That's kind of where I want to go. I mean, if we took over the world, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. Yeah, but just kind of a casual, I wouldn't mind, just a nice little following and just playing at some shows and making people happy.
Yeah, we're all cat dads. So
you're all cat dads.
You got to make it home at the end of the day and get the cuddles.
Well, and Sean, I mean, me and Sean are kind of just talking about this too. Is like, Sean, you want to kind of speak on that kind of Alaskan band thing?
Yeah,
I
think
talking like
a couple weeks ago we were actually discussing that and thinking about what is the just talking about like maybe what next summer, what do we want to do? What are we thinking about? And I just remodeled my house, and that's where we practice at. I have the studio there, and I was like, well, now that it's remodeled, the first thing I want to do is get Shane into my studio and just start recording some stuff. Just him, like playing the drums, the guitar, singing on one of his songs that he's been playing for a long time. And then we can kind of I want to put together like a Shane Russell recording. I think kind of the goal is to spend a lot of time in the studio over the next couple of years because we've got a lot of music and we want to record. And
none of it's out there right now.
Yeah, none of it's out there. So before you can even if we had ambitions of touring out of Alaska or something like that, you need records.
Yeah. Shane Russell versus Childish Tycoon. What's the dynamic? What is?
Yeah.
We got 2 artists in the studio here.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll speak for myself on the Shane Russell stuff. I've just, I have been writing music for the last 15 years or so. I've been a musician my whole life. I picked up the guitar when I was like 12, and that just started writing music. I wanted to learn, Jack Johnson, John Mayer, play for all the girls. I mean, like, the girls love the guitar, so why not? And so that, I've had a couple bands throughout the years. Shane Russel music, it's just my own stuff. Like, I wrote it, and, sad boy stuff. Some of it's happy, some of it's, dealing with drinking. I quit drinking this past year, and so a lot of this, like, seeing the way my music has changed throughout the years, now we have kind of, with Childish Tycoon, have taken the Shane Russell stuff and turned it into this, like, Sean is just, like I said, our everything guy and a composer as well. We are a super group of composers, and so they have taken my music and we've created covers, we kind of like...
Yeah, and actually maybe that also ties into the idea of, like, what's the goal of Childish Tycoon, which is that, like, Shane and Matt Faubion are just two composers, singer-songwriters that have lots of material that are known in at least in Anchorage as having a lot of, like, original material. That those are, like, the first two people we kind of approach and be like, we're going to learn, like, your catalog, basically, so that if you wanted to play it as a big band, you call us up and we set up a show. Or if you just want to play your songs as an acoustic set, then you play as an acoustic set, and do it in that style. But we have an ambition to be one of those bands that you could approach and be like, hey, would you be willing to learn this set and make it more dynamic? Because I don't have a band right now. Instead of having to put together a hodgepodge group of people, which works, but sometimes it's a little stressful, it's nice to know that there's somebody out there that's like...
We did the hodgepodging so that people can come to us. Like, we have so many friends that same thing, singer-songwriters, and they want to elevate their sound. They want to do that, and that's what we're doing, just as friends and family.
Yeah.
And every time I get offered a gig, whenever I play, I write out charts, because that's how I learn. So anybody that I've played with out there, I have charts of every song that we've played. So
that's awesome. It's like Toto for Michael Jackson, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
And it's nice because these original songs can live in those different forms of, like, their original one-person singer-songwriter form, and then also in this big band arrangement, and change however it wants to, and evolves with time.
You said a name, Matt Faubion.
Faubion.
Does he play with Roland Roberts?
Yeah.
I had him in here just a little while back.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's actually, I think, playing with Roland tonight, so he can't make the show tonight. But and he's a busy boy and just so gosh darn talented.
Absolute shredder.
You mentioned goals a few times, and I mentioned it. What are some goals you've already seen come to fruition? What are some accomplishments you've had with the band so far?
This is one, doing the Dig and Dirt opening.
Yeah,
for sure.
Playing with those boys has been...
Getting asked to open for them again.
Yeah.
Not only just opening for them, because we opened for them last time they were up here, but getting the special request, like, hey, we want these guys to open for us again. For me,
that feels good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that is just the goals that we've seen happen is we've continued to practice, put in the work. It's hard to run a 7-piece band, to getting people's schedules together, just 4 of us trying to get in the studio today, just being able to do it. I think that's why I can give myself a pat on the back and give all of us a pat on the back.
Yeah, I mean, just in taking, like, the original Shane Russell music and transforming it into what it's become, like, that right there in itself is a cool goal, because we had an idea, we wanted to make it something more, and we did, and it worked out, it turned out really good, so...
I think another goal that we accomplished is just having all these people that are, like, having a 7-piece band doesn't mean that you have to always have the 7 people there.
So how many will be on stage tonight, then?
6.
6. All right.
Yeah.
And whoever else wants to hop up on there.
Yeah, in this room.
Yeah, we could
bring
have
the Dig and
some
Dirt
more people
guys.
next time.
That's what we were talking about that last
Oh, I
show.
wanna-
We need to do the crossover.
A collab, yeah.
That'd been fun.
That's why I made the horn charts.
I think
Give them the
a
workshops.
next goal is writing music as a group again.
Yeah.
That's something we kind of just are starting to get into, and it's going to be cool when we figure that out as well.
Well, speaking of writing, we're going to play one of your songs, Writing on the Wall.
Hey.
Ooh, that's a new one.
That's a
Yeah.
new
And then we'll talk about it a little bit. So here it goes.
goes on so I cannot see the writing on the wall. There's a cool pretense to know that what she's doing. The smoke in my face, the hips they started grooving. Closer now than she's ever been before. Backing out and I'm afraid to fall. See the writing on the wall. Won't see the writing on the wall. Won't see the writing on the wall. Seems to run before I crawl. Seems to jump before I fall. Back in this again. Already knows that there is something in my head. I'm backing out of my tail. Won't see the writing on the wall. Won't see the writing on the wall. Won't see the writing on the wall. Seems to run before I crawl. Seems to jump before I fall. Back in this again. Wasn't Mary Kate at Ashley? It doesn't matter, call her baby if she asks me. I got a number, but I don't pick up the call. With a hammer and a nail and brother, just get the writing on the wall. See the writing on the wall. We'll see the writing on the wall. We'll see the writing on the wall. We'll see the writing on the wall.
Tell me a little bit about the process you went to create the song, the songwriting, recording, what all, just from not existing except in your head to being a finished thing people can listen to.
It started across the street at the Palmer Train Depot.
Oh, cool.
We were playing that show with Digging Dirt, and we were just rocking out, and some girls show up, and they brought this friend, and, you know, she's cute, and she's just kind of following us around for the rest of the night, like kind of hanging with us and stuff. And I'm like, I think this girl's kind of trouble, you know. Just like that was the thing that I got from it. And so, you know, the rest of the night goes on, and you know, everything's good, and you know, I made friends with her and stuff. But we do a songwriting workshop. Me and Cody kind of started this thing called, you know, Song Circle Sundays, and it really just this hangout group where we write music, write songs, or just writing, whether poetry, spoken word, all this stuff, and it's just a good hangout with all these musicians. And so we wanted to write an anti-song. That was one of the prompts Cody came up with, and it's just like anti-style. So like what you do not like if you don't like country, write a country song, you know. For me, my anti-style was pop, and it's a little ironic because everything is pop. And when it comes down to, you know, a rectangle isn't a square, if a square is a rectangle, whatever, that's like what pop is in music. And so I realized, I'm like, I do like pop. So let me write my anti-pop song. And I don't know if I started it at Song Circle or we were saying we needed to do a prompt to take home. And it's always harder to write. It was a take-home prompt. It was a take-home prompt. And it's always harder to do that because you're like, no, I'm so inspired in the moment. Yeah. But like, what do you mean I have to go home? And so I like wake up one morning and I was like, I'm going to write this dumb pop song or whatever. And I started with a couple chords, and the main thing is I thought this girl looked like Mary-Kate and Ashley. That's the tagline. Sorry. So this girl that we were talking about looks like Mary-Kate and Ashley, and so I start with that line, and I just kind of start writing through and kind of writing how I felt. I did the same style prompt that we would do like at Song Circle, and wrote the first kind of 2 verses and just started freestyling. Basically threw my guitar on a loop with that same part, and I was just like, kind of freestyle rapping some of the verses, kind of trying to pick and choose some stuff, and I'm just writing down as I go. You can see the piece of paper that I wrote on is ridiculous. It is every single little idea. Like, should I say this or should I say that? Mm-hmm. And I was just BSing with the boys at practice, and I brought that. I was like, all right, guys, so this is my anti-pop song, like, and they're like, what?
We're playing
You've been hiding this from us? And like, I didn't even play it just by itself. I was like, this is how it goes, and let's rock it. And first take, all of them. Bridget goes crazy. Bridget's like, oh yeah, finds the sax part right away. And she, at the end of the song, I actually don't know if this is the one, but Bridget goes, where have you been hiding this song, Shane? And I was like, dude, I just wrote it like last week. It's not even a song yet. I just showed you guys like my new idea. And the band went to town. Like we found our parts. Cody wrote those fun little oh
yes. David wrote third verse parts too.
David's verse. He texts me and he goes, bro, I got an idea, like, unless you've written that third verse yet. And so he sends it over, and David he used to rap and stuff too, and it just has the David flow on it. Like,
it's classic drummer lyrics, very rhythmical, not a lot of melody to it, but it hits all the right beats.
But I don't pick up the call of the hammer and nail wrote it in Braille just to see the writing on the wall. Like, yeah, it's a mouthful, but he did the time. He did those. He looked at the exact beats, and that's like just the funniest thing. Everyone says, "Oh, that's cute. The drummer wrote a song." It's like, dude, shut up. Like, he rocks.
It had great potential for like an orchestration there too, with that nice like da 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 da.
Exactly. Sean heard all the beats. He's like, "Oh, we're doing that."
Yeah, he's like, "I got the hits."
Yeah, and then in that song too, we part of writing is like we had this riff that we do all the time that we're jamming on in practices, and we wanted to write a song around it, but it was like I was like, why don't you just insert that as like the little like instrumental thing that we jam over, and then that kind of turned into that, and then at the end I was like, I'm going to take that riff and kind of like make it kind of a wild, interesting rhythm kind of thing.
Screw all of you guys up, but you're gonna do it. We're gonna execute it.
But once you get in, it really gets stuck in your head.
It's so catchy when you get into it. The trick, if anyone's listening, if you want to dance to it, just bob into. Just
keep moving. You'll
find it eventually.
At the beginning of the phrase, you'll be on your left foot, and then the next time you'll be on your right foot, and then your left foot back and forth.
Sean also choreographs dance moves from the stage while he plays bass too.
Just watch out for the hits.
Watch out for the hits.
All right, well, about time to wrap it up. But I want to talk about what you guys have coming up. I know you have Palmer Alehouse tonight, but this is going to air after that, unfortunately. This will probably air at the end of July this month. Cool. So I guess stuff at the end of July, stuff in August?
You know, not really. I don't want to say, but we will be working on creating shows and creating a schedule for the winter. Unofficial, official Coots in October, but no set date for that yet.
All right.
Otherwise, we're just gonna be busting out in the studio. I think really the summer is busy. Yeah. We all have our own lives as well and stuff, and we're not trying to push it too much, but we want to we want to get in the studio and
record
with all the new
give the
members
people
too,
what they want.
When are you going to stop gatekeeping your own music? When is that coming out for
As soon as
somebody?
this is done, we're gonna get back into the studio. I promise.
Yeah.
Really.
I just switched teaching gigs, so I don't have very many students right now. So I've got lots of time this summer to do some recording.
Where can people find out what's coming up? You guys got social media, website?
Instagram. Childish Tycoon, AK.
Childish Tycoon, AK
And
on
then
Instagram.
I'm Shane Russell Music or SR_Alaska. That's kind of got all of my mixes of
YouTube
stuff.
also. I mean,
YouTube also.
YouTube's got Childish Tycoon YouTube.
I keep the YouTube up to date with all the Instagram stuff. So if you prefer YouTube, you can go there.
All right. You got what all videos you got on YouTube right now?
We've got a couple of
Live stuff?
Yep, we
Yeah,
got a full
live stuff.
performance of our song "Stuck" from the Coot Show in March, and we've got a couple of like
With all
promos.
gigs.
Yeah, and there's a couple of full shows on mine. No, I think there's one full show on
And then
our YouTube.
just the trio. I mean, like back when it
Yeah.
started, that's where you can kind of see the progression. There's
Yeah.
the show of Serranos that me, Dave, and Sean just did, and then a year later we have this.
Yeah, if you want to see the progression, go back and watch our first YouTube
Yeah.
video, and then watch the last
Or
one.
you can go to my YouTube channel, Sean Perkins Music, and I've got a bunch of the Shane Russell and Friends, some of the same songs, but from a couple years ago. If you want to see that progression.
That was a different
And
time,
Matt,
but
even Matt's
also
in some
magical.
of those too.
Yeah.
Where he was
Yeah.
part of the group.
Yeah. All right, we're going to close it out now by playing your song Great White Buffalo, or a jam version of it. Is that what you're saying?
And just the childish
cover.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for coming in today, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Alston.
us.
Yeah.
It's been a great time.
Great white buffalo of the sea. Learning way too much from me. From the habits that I store in my cheek. So run away from me. Swimming, fishing for a first dance. Another chance. I told him, done. You better run. Just said, go away. Even when she knows I'll stray. She just sits there without a word to say. I guess we'll save it for another day. Why do you waste away? Why do you waste? Drunk it out yesterday. I just wish you would say that you feel the fucking same.